Holy cow, welcome to Donnie's Hangout Adventures. And I was getting a little bit stir crazy today, so I wanted to get out. And you know, I missed Des Moines because of my outdoor videos. I had so many and I did so much. I had so much fun when I was up there a couple years ago that I'm in Ottumwa, and Ottumwa's not the most fun town. It's actually a pretty boring town in and of itself. There's not a lot to do here in Tweakerville, USA. There's really not. I call it Tweakerville because there's a lot of meth heads here and a lot of crackheads. But nonetheless, be that as it may, and I had to think outside the box to do outdoor videos, because I love doing my outdoor videos. I wish I had money to go places, to actually travel and stuff, but that be as it may, because my channels are never going to take off. That's just figuratively impossible. But anyway, so I think I was outside the box, and I'm going to do Ottumwa memories from my point of view. It's not necessarily a history of Ottumwa. You can buy books for that, but that costs, those books are way too expensive, and I don't feel like checking out books at the library. I don't feel like getting a card and all that. No, I'm just doing this differently. This is from my point of view and my memories, and it's not really a history of Ottumwa, just from my point of view. Okay, first things first, I'm going to show it real quickly because I don't want to be suspicious by the police thinking I'm, recording the police station. But nevertheless, I'll show it real quickly. Okay, there's the police station, and I remember when I was a kid, do you think I remember what used to be there? And it was a deteriorating building. Lowenberg Bakery. Now, a lot of people older than me can remember the smells from Lowenberg Bakery, but unfortunately, the only memory I have of Lowenberg Bakery was a deteriorating, rotting building. It's unfortunate that the building deteriorated and rotted so much that they had to tear it down, and there was no renovating it at that point, so they had to tear it down. Now it's a police station, and then what a fine police station it is. Right behind me is the waterworks, and some buildings have been sitting empty in Ottumwa, especially for years. I don't even remember remotely what this building was. I always remember it as being an empty, sad looking building that probably needs to be tore down. It just has been sitting empty for quite a few years, and it looks a little creepy when you're looking at it with some broken windows and windows open, what have you. Probably pigeons living in there and birds. Anyway, yeah, I don't remember what this building was. Usually you can see old signs on buildings what they used to be. This one I don't really know. It's just been sitting empty and reclusive, and I hear birds over there. It's not like birds are living inside the building, especially up there. There's a couple windows that are open. I don't know. It's a recluse building sitting next to, not many streets of these left of brick. Not many streets like that remain. Wasn't there more than 3 windows on this side? I swear there was. Have they covered them up, or am I seeing it differently? Because I remember them being more than 3 windows. But then again, maybe I'm seeing it differently. And the one thing that's still here, that's been here since I was a kid. I mean, I've been living here since, unfortunately, the early 80s. But the one thing that's still here, even though they got rid of the museum, the railroad museum, which is a shame. It really is when you really think about it, that, well, the old train still sitting here. Yep, here it is. It's been sitting here. Well, something sore eyed was with the trash dumpsters. But yeah, the old train still sitting here. And I've always wanted to, go inside of it. And of course you can't. You're not allowed to. It's trespassing. But they don't even have a fence up around it. Didn't they used to? I swear they did. And one thing I've never really looked at is this plaque they have here. I never really looked at it. Yeah, it's an old plaque. Very, very old plaque. I never knew that there was a plaque there. I never really paid attention. Interesting. And of course, Ottumwa's been so iffy on if they're going to have this thing down here running, and they have been. Here's just the front of it. Now at night this lights up. At night this lights up, and you can see it's, you know, it's starting to fall apart. It looks like in the water part, but it's still beautiful. That's the one thing. Beautiful. Really, really beautiful. Now I remember when the Trailways, Greyhound, what have you, would actually pull in right here until they moved downtown, which is just stupid where they have to go now. But anyway, I remember when the Trailways, Greyhound would pull up right in here, and then they would pull out over that way and go on to wherever they were going. Yeah, and there's just the well, it's supposed to be the train depot, but it's so closed off, and they're like rebuilding over here with the train tracks or something. I don't know. It looks like they're gutting it all. I don't know. That's what it looks like. See, yeah, they're redoing all this. I don't know what exactly. I don't know. They're going to be replacing train tracks. I highly doubt that. But looks like you're just doing the platform and stuff like that. And this building I've always been curious about. It's always been there, just sits empty. I've always wondered what it was. They said it says Railroad Clubhouse, but I wonder what it was. I remember it being there when I was a kid, and it's still there. You can see inside somewhat. I'm not going to really look inside, but I don't know, I've always been curious what that was. If it was something way back when, like in the Western days or whatever. I don't know. I've just always been curious what it was. I always picture a bank like this in like a video game, Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead Redemption 1. It still says Fidelity Savings Bank. I don't think they can tear this building down because it's connected to, you know, child support. Anyway, so I don't think they can tear it down. It still sits there. Looks like it's been vandalized quite a few times. I'm sure it'll be vandalized a lot more, unfortunately, because people don't respect property. I was filming, and there was a couple people in the truck. I don't know if they were drunk or if they were on meth or what the hell they were doing, but they were yelling obscenities at me. So I decided to not even, you know, put that in my video. Okay, I just said, you know what, I'm moving on with my day, and I didn't even yell back anything at them. But anyway, so I decided not to, and what an idiot, screeched out. Anyway, so I decided not to include that in my video. It's all I was talking about. All I was going to talk about this part here, about this old bank, the old, oh, the half-hour depository is still there. And there too. That one looks 10 times older than that one. That one always looks out of place. This one, you could tell, is really, really, really old. And there's where the city bus used to go, was right in here. Of course, now they're down at the freaking Hydro, which makes no damn sense. So, but the Trailways goes here. I know, that makes no freaking sense. And I can't remember if it was the old subway building, which has been moved since then, or there's a building next to that used to be there. I can't remember which one was Coffee Cup. I can't remember. But there was a stairs that went down, and to get out of the cold in the winter, you would go over there and wait on the city bus. Like I said, a little bit of memories that I remember. Oh yeah, one more thing. Over there, actually this whole building was, and then two buildings there, Rent-A-Center, and that, I think it's a telemarketing place. It used to be APAC back in 2000s. Well, anyway, I remember when that was JCPenney, and I remember working at APAC, and they had in the main floor, they had it blocked off where the escalator was. I always wondered, does it work? I doubt it. It's probably been out of commission for many, many years, because that was JCPenney, and well, I do remember JCPenney being here when I was a kid, because I remember that escalator. I didn't go on the escalator. I've always had a fear of escalators. I don't know why. El Rancho Grande, wouldn't recommend the food. I've been there once, and it's below average. Below average, just my opinion. It's good tequila grill. They have great food. That used to be Godfather's. I remember that because before the movies, or after the movies, usually before, I would go to the movies with mom, or maybe friends, whatever. And I would, you know, go to Godfather's, get a pizza, and then go to the movie theater, which most of it's been remodeled now. That's been remodeled over there except for the top part. Yeah, it's all been remodeled. But there's the entrance to it. You can still see where they would have the signs for, you know, movies. And I think that might be new. Might be. But anyway, that was a little movie theater there. And up there was upstairs. And I've seen quite a bit of movies there, actually, back in the day. I don't go to the movie theaters anymore because, quite frankly, it's too expensive. It really is. Now I'm going to have a big time memory here when I cross the street here. Well, the building has since been tore down, which is a shame. And this was another area where the Trailways Greyhounds came. I remember that. I used to pull right up alongside here because in this empty lot was, well, bless me, I had to sneeze. Too much pollen in this area. There was Ballingaw Motel. Grandma lived there like on the 3rd or 4th floor, and I remember one time I decided to go on the elevator, and it was a crank type elevator. So I went on it once. Didn't like that elevator. That elevator scared me to death, and you know what? That might have been the beginning and fear of my hatred for elevators, because I've always had a fear that I was always going to get stuck on the elevator. And that probably started there at Ballingaw Motel, which has been torn down for quite a few years. But if you watch The Woman Who Loved Elvis, which was filmed in the 90s, Ballingaw Motel, in one of the wide shots, you can see when Tom Arnold's going across the bridge on his motorcycle. You can still see the Ballingaw Motel way over here in the distance when he's crossing the Market Street Bridge. Thought I would throw that in if you were going to watch that movie. Good movie. Well, I'm sitting here taking a break, and you know, while I'm taking a break, I have talked about this before. This building behind me might have been used in The Woman Who Loved Elvis as a bar scene. It's a really huge building, as you can see in the background. It's a really huge building. Thought I would just throw that in there. But oh yeah, I don't want to talk about it. This building in front of me, I think it's the entrance for Main Street or Ottumwa, I think. It's really changed because the entrance there used to be an entrance right in here. I can't remember the name of it. That's going to happen. That's going to happen time to time on my videos. I'm going to misspeak a name of something, or I won't remember a name of something. But I had my first date there. I was in high school, and this is before I started dating my first ex-girlfriend. And I had my first date there. It was a pool hall. We had a couple sodas, and we played pool, and that was it. That was pretty much the extent of my date. May not have been the most exciting date, but hey, I had a good time, and so did she. A lot has changed. I haven't been up here near the high school in quite a while. A lot has changed up here. A lot. And then I'm questioning, why put parking on top of a roof? Confused, huh? Me too. Yeah, you can freaking park here on top of a damn roof. Because down below, they tore down, you know, where the laundromat was. So now you can park on a roof? Huh? What? Because I was just over that way, remember? You know, I showed you about the laundromat, I mean the pool hall. And I was just over that way. So you can park on a roof? That doesn't sound very safe if you ask me. Especially when there's nothing below but cement. That doesn't sound very safe. Whose brilliant idea was this? I'll show you again. You can park on a damn roof? Okay, because over there's the pawn shop. Okay, now, I was saying a lot's changed up here at the high school. A lot. Now, I don't know why they need this much parking. Seriously. I mean, there was a church down there, and there was houses in here, and there was a church up here. Why did they need to tear all that out just for high school parking? I don't know. It doesn't make sense. when they've always had parking over there. So why do they need this much parking is beyond me. I don't quite get it. And you tore down two churches and several houses just for this pointless, needless parking. I'm sorry, that don't make any sense to me. I know you're supposed to love Ottumwa or the city where you live, but this is asinine and makes no damn sense. What you can see behind me is the Ottumwa High School. We're not going to talk much about that. There's so much I could talk about with that. There's too many memories to talk about that. I could dedicate a whole video to that. Literally, I could. Now, there's Reese's Funeral Home. As far as I remember, that's always been Reese's Funeral Home. As far as I remember. I don't remember that being anything else. But not what I want to talk about. Nope. When I was a kid, this is when I was going to Wilson, which is over that way, a few blocks. And when I was going to Wilson, this is when I was a kid, and we lived over here, across from the Reese's Funeral Home. And amazingly, the house is still standing and the same exact color. Yeah, Reese's Funeral Home in the background. And it's the same exact color. And a lot of memories from this place too. Now, it looks, I walked by it once, it looks relatively empty and I don't want to get too close to it. So, and, well, now we lived in the downstairs apartment and there was one bedroom, and in the living room there was a crack that went right across the entire ceiling. And there was a heavy-set woman that lived upstairs. She was a teenager. And she probably weighed 300 pounds. She was huge. And she would jump up and down on the bed. And I remember thinking, God, I hope that the ceiling doesn't break, because if she lands on me, I'm a dead duck. I'm a dead duck. And it's just amazing. It's the same exact color. It's never changed. That stairway, it looks exactly the same. And I had a friend with her two kids. She lived in the upstairs on the other side. And memories come flooding back, and a lot of memories there. I used to hang around with her kid all the time, and a lot of good memories there. You can still see the basement way in the back there. I can still see it from here. I don't know if you can. The basement is where they had the laundry room. Very creepy laundry room at that. Very, very creepy. Now what I'm amazed at, it looks unchanged. It looks fairly empty. I walked by it, I didn't want to record, you know, in front of it. I'm very skeptical of that. Sometimes people can get a little paranoid about me recording. And so I looked at it, and there's no for rent signs or anything. I don't think I would want to rent it anyway. It looks somewhat run down as it is, but it's amazing. I was about 3rd or 4th grade when we lived there in the early 80s. Same color, and it looks no different then as it does now. That is amazing. Something else I remember, it's across the street. I want to get a better view of it. On down from the high school, like there's that stupid parking lot. This was originally where the Trailway, Greyhound, whatever it was, came. You see that door there? That's where the buses would actually go in if they needed repaired. But actually down here is where it would park, the Trailway Greyhound bus. That's where it originally was, but it has moved so much over the years. And now, that was the original place. Now, I showed you where it goes now and where it used to go earlier, but you know, that's where it originally was. One of the most interesting looking buildings is actually here in Ottumwa. It's hard to believe. Remember what used to be there in the 80s. Boy, I said that word a lot today. It's interesting looking. That's where MediaCom was. Yep, and a Coke machine up front. That's where MediaCom was. I wish they were still there, because of the convenient location, unlike where they are now. Across the street, Lee's Photography. I have a hatred for that place. I have since 1996. the year I graduated from high school. I have one picture. The hell? Sounds like a bird digging at something. I have one picture from a throwaway camera of the year I graduated. Lease Photography was supposed to take my graduation pictures of me and my hat and my gown. I paid for it. They were supposed to, no, Mexican food, oh, Tequila Grill. And they were supposed to give me my pictures. Never got them. Never got them. I called them and said, where's my pictures? I paid for them. They go, oh, you never paid for them. I had a receipt and they still denied me. So I have a hatred for Lease Photography. I have never done business with them ever since. I have a hatred for them. I can't stand them, and I can't wait until they go out of business. I'll be the happiest person ever. But I can't stand them. I have a hatred for them. Well, I started by showing the newer police station, the remodeled police station. It's been there for quite a few years. I thought I would end this video with the creepy looking older police station that's connected to the courthouse. They really can't tear it down because it's connected. The walkway. Oh yeah. People said that's haunted. Not sure. But that it still says County Jail on there, 1911, probably Western days. And the side view of it in the alley sort of resembles hauntedness. It looks very, very ominous. It looks very creepy. I wonder what this would look like at night. Oh yeah, bars on the window. Oh, the air conditioner still doing up there. Okay. Yeah, that's where you would enter to see jailers right there. And that window up there looks really creepy and haunted. If this doesn't look haunted, I don't know what to tell you, because it looks really, really haunted. It looks ominous and creepy. That was the jail for many, many years. Matter of fact, the asshole that shot Jeremy Allen, I don't want to say his name, almost did, that shot Jeremy Allen, he was processed right there. They had to take him through that tunnel. Yeah. That tells you a lot right there. Oh, what a great way to end the video with the ominous former jail.